There we go. How's it going, YouTube? Jimmy here again. So when we last left off, we went ahead and did a quick rendering of the vehicle. No, looks like I got that too. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. So I think that's still Lambert. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still Lambert. And no, that's a Fun 4. Okay, so anyways, it doesn't really matter. So in this video, we're going to start working on the engine bay. It's fairly simple. It can get a little tedious and a little complicated, and it can do that very quickly. And the reason why, because finding actual profile views of this engine is kind of difficult, and I'm not sure if this is a K-series 4-cylinder or if it's F-series. When I say F-series, I know it's not like an F23A1 or anything like that, because that would be like the 99 Accords and things like that. This might be a K-series. I don't know 100%. You'd think I would know this, but I don't. So that's my bad, YouTube. So anyways, so what we need to do is we need to go ahead and set the pivot point up for this hood. So this way when we open it, we'll have clear view of the engine bay. And a lot of these parts we're just going to be overlapping. So we're not going to do anything that's like real, I guess you'd say, real intricate, I think is the correct word. I don't know how to describe that. So anyways, the first thing we want to do is we want to open the hood. Before we do that, let's go into channel box. Okay, so all this is zeroed out, and that is good. Let's go ahead and create a duplicate hood, and what we're going to do is we're going to add this to the layer. Oops. That's not what I want. I want it transparent. And so for this right here, now obviously this is not going to work, because if we try to open it, we're going to run into this. That is not the way a hood opens on a vehicle. I don't care what kind of vehicle you have. That's not the way it does. So let's go and click on Insert. I want to set the insert. Let's see. Let me go in here real quick and. Okay, so the pivot point is going to be back here. So if I'm thinking correctly, the pivot point should actually be right about here, thereabouts. So now when we open the hood, we'll have that. Is that correct? I don't think that's correct. Let me check this image. How about this image? Okay, so it looks about right. Looks like I might be a little bit further back, but it's going to be about there. Nice thing about Hondas, and I don't know if y'all know this or not, but a lot of these Hondas, like even my 99 Honda Accord does this. You can actually open the hood all the way back like this. Hondas are the only vehicles that I know of that actually do this, properly. So it doesn't look like the pivot point's where it needs to be just yet. So let's go ahead and go into Insert. That is not what I wanted. I'm just going to grab this. I'm just going to pull it. And let me pull it right about here. Let me go click on Insert again. Oh yeah, that's more accurate to how it should move. And some of you are wondering, yes, Honda hoods really can open like that. In fact, you can set them all the way back like this, and they don't really hit the windshield or anything. They just kind of like fold back, and they just kind of like reside there. It's actually really nifty whenever you're having to work on a Honda. It really is. The only thing you have to remember is to pull off the wiper nozzle hoses and everything like that. Otherwise, you'll break them. Like I broke mine whenever I was doing the engine swap. So yeah, that was fun. Actually, to be honest, it really sucked, but, it's whatever. So, we will end up duplicating the hood, so this way, what was I say? So this way we can actually do the underwork and do the framing for the hood and all that. We're not going to do that this tutorial. We're just going to do some of the engine based stuff. So the firewall, oh, what is this? What is this nonsense? Oh, okay, so. Let's go into Vertex. Let's go and just start fixing all this crap, because obviously that's not going to be sticking through. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Let me go into the side view. Oh, yeah, because, that's normal. You just select all this crap. Okay, so I got all that selected. I'm actually just going to go into Scale. I'm going to scale this down. I'm just going to pull it back. Something kind of like that, I'm thinking. Now, I'm not worried about like this little bit. I'm not worried about that at all, honestly, because a lot of the engine bay is going to cover that. I just didn't want that big piece protruding through. So, anyways, let's go ahead and just jump right on in here. The first thing we need to do, let's go ahead and create a valve cover. It's just a simple valve cover. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go into poly modeling. And I'm just going to create a simple valve cover like this. I'm going to pull it up and pull it into position. Something like that, I'm thinking. Now, y'all are going to love how easy this is. Literally, we'll just create 2 points like this, because these engines are dual overhead cam. And so, oh wait, this is actually one solid piece. Do I want to roll with that, or... No, it's actually one solid piece. Which I think this one's actually single overhead cam. I could be wrong about that. No, that's dual overhead cam. That would have to be. I can't really tell from this picture. Now, this one I can tell is dual overhead cam. I can just look at it and be like, oh, yeah, that's definitely dual overhead cam. So, actually, we don't need to create that piece like I thought we did. I thought I was actually going to have 2 pieces that came up, and then the center piece would actually be down towards the middle. But on this one, that's not how it's set up at all. So what we'll do is we'll go back in here into Maya, and let's just undo these extra pieces that we have. Let's go ahead and click on face, though, and we'll just extrude it up like so, just a little bit. And the reason why I duplicated the hood and made it as a reference, so this way I can see if I'm actually going to be protruding through the hood or not. And the nice thing about doing it this way is, as you can see, well, it makes a cube, but, you know, whatever. So let's go ahead and come in here. We're going to add an extrusion here, or not an extrusion, but an edge loop. Just going to add some like this. So this way when we smooth it out, we'll have this shape. Now down here towards the bottom, oops. Down here towards the bottom, I'm going to make this fairly tight. So we should have this shape. With that shape, let's go back in here into this. Okay, so this actually needs to come about where the firewall is. It needs to be resting really close to the firewall. So let's go ahead and click on this, and we're just going to move this back right about there, I'm thinking. Nope, that's too much. Probably right about here. And that actually doesn't look too bad. Might bring it down just a little bit. Doesn't need to be up that high. Well, actually, I think these are going to be even closer than that, so pull this down. Let me turn this off from transparent. Okay. So this is going to be right about here. Go back into transparent. So let's go ahead and save this scene real quick. Let's go back in here. The next thing we need to do... Now, this has different spots for you to be able to grab the bolts and everything like that. I'm not going to go with that much detail. I could, but I'm not going to. I just want like a basic engine, so when you open it up, it's like BAM! A lot of times what you'll do is you'll use a texture map for those. But one thing I do want to do is I want to create this oil cap right here. So let's go back into Maya. I'm going to press 1 on the keyboard. The oil cap's going to be right about here. Now you could do some extrusions if you wanted to. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to live life on the edge. I'm going to live life dangerously. Just going to click like that. Come in here. Click like that. Then I'm going to click right here. I'm going to go across. There we go. So now is what we have is we can take this edge, flatten this edge out, flatten that edge out. We'll do the same thing with this top and bottom one. Oh, of course that one's already flat because, yeah, I think I would have noticed that, but I didn't. So now all we gotta do is just pull this down. Something like that. Press 3. And let's see, that actually doesn't look too bad. I'm actually kind of shocked. I thought that would be like just god awful, but it actually doesn't look too bad. So the next thing we want to do... Oh man, I am tired, YouTube. I probably need to get some sleep after this. Oops. Press Q on the keyboard. I'm just going to select all of these right here, and I'm going to go into extrude. When I do this time, okay, there we go. Now this time when I hit extrude, I'm just going to extrude inwards like that. There we go. So now we have a nice smooth extrusion for the oil. Press 1 on the keyboard. I'm going to go into face now. I'm actually going to grab all these center faces right here. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to deselect them. And I'm just going to... Wait, do I have that one selected? No, I do not. Now I do. Okay, there we go. just going to pull this up like this, so this way it has a nice, sorry, has a nice smooth shape where it comes up like that. So it's a little bit more fluid, I guess. I don't know what that term would be. Maybe your professor would know. I sure don't. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go into face. And, oh, wrong way, Jimmy. Under face is what I want to do. Generally, right here, the head actually comes out like this. And you have the two cam gears in there, you know, which gives you dual overhead cam. On a single overhead cam, it would just be this piece right here that would, I'm like, the whole thing would come out still, but it would be more circular in the middle for a single overhead cam. Dual overhead cam, as you can tell, that this piece actually comes out a little bit. That's how I can tell right off the bat if it's dual or single. This one I can't really tell. I'm like, it looks like a single overhead cam, but I can't really tell. I'm like, I'm almost sure this is a single overhead cam, but I really can't tell from this image. If I was actually looking at it in person, I'm like, oh yeah, that's single, or oh no, that's dual. You know, I'd be able to tell. But with this one, it's actually real evident for me to be able to tell that it is indeed dual overhead cam. And you know, you can do single overhead cam. There's not going to be any difference. Dual overhead cam might have a slightly higher resolution on the polygonal faces, but for the most part, it's going to be completely user preference. So anyways, let's get back to the tutorial so I'm not just rambling on. Jimmy, the rambling idiot here. So I'm actually going to pull this forward just a little bit. I'm going to widen it out, probably right about, I think right about here. I'm going to press G on the keyboard, pull this forward just a little bit. I'm going to press G on the keyboard again. I'm going to move this forward right about, probably right about here. Press G on the keyboard again. Then I'm going to move this in probably about like that. So now when I press 3 to do a smooth preview, that's the shape you should have. So that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Now is what I want to do. Let me go and press 1 on the keyboard. I actually want to select all these bottom faces. So let's go in here. We'll just come into this view. We'll select all those. I'm going to hold down Control on the keyboard. I'm going to deselect all those. So I should have all of the bottom faces selected. Got more than all the bottom faces selected. That is okay. A little bit of a pain in the ass, but that is okay. So I'm just going to deselect all of these. This might take me a little bit. Let me go and just frame in on all these, so this way I'm actually on the right pivot for, you know, whenever I rotate the camera and everything. Alright, so we are just trucking along. Yeah, so anyways, if you're new to my channel, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it educational or at least somewhat humorous. If you like the video at the end, you know, please hit that like button, subscribe, you know, whole 9 yards. Comment if you have something that you'd like to see me do. By the way, I just hit the extrude button, so that's why I can flatten everything out. But if there's something you'd like to see me do, hit, you know, comment on what you'd like to see me do. And if you don't like this video, you can comment how much you hate my guts and how much you like to, see, what would be something that's kind of painful. Shove my head in a meat grinder, I guess. It doesn't quite really suit me. Let's see. How much you like to see me streak butt naked down the middle of the entire continent of Russia with a cactus hanging out of my rectum and sucking on a baby pacifier or binky while yelling out weird obscenities such as ghosts are real, aliens exist, and wait, no, I guess that's not real. I don't know. Use your imagination. I don't care. It's whatever, dudes. If that becomes a meme, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to be internet famous. Alright, so anyways, the next part we need to do is going to be the heads. Now, on the heads, this is actually going to be very easy. So we already have the bottom faces selected. Are y'all ready, YouTube? Tell me you're ready. Okay, good, you're ready. So for the heads, the valve cover goes over the head. It's actually the exact same shape. In fact, the heads, whenever they're built, they're actually milled flat for the valve cover. So whatever shape you have for the valve cover, you can simply, like with the bottom face is still selected, you can simply press G on the keyboard for another extrusion. I'm going to move them down right about there. I'm going to press G on the keyboard again. I'm going to move them down right about here. Press G on the keyboard one more time. I'm going to move these down right about here. Press G on the keyboard again. Move them down just a little bit. Now we go into Edge, and literally we can just move these edges in like so. For these right here, we'll come over here. We'll grab these right here, and all I'm going to do is just pull them forward like that. So there you go. Now I know some of you are like, what the hell, dude, that ain't right. Yeah, I know it's not right. Just give me a minute. I'm not done yet. So we got this, or actually we selected the wrong one, but you know what? Screw it. We'll roll with it. We'll select one edge loop right here and one edge loop right here. Then we'll, with this bottom one still selected, we'll hold down Shift or Control Shift and double click on this bottom line. And we'll just squeeze these together. I'm thinking right about there. I'm going to move these up so they're centered. And this time when we press 3, as you can see, now we have something that looks more like what you'd expect to see. And we still got the spot for the oil cap, so that's good. The engine is, you can do the same thing with the engine. I'm not, just because I don't want to. Yeah. So with the heads, not the heads, well, I guess we could continue talking about the heads because we still need to add the exhaust and the intake. So I'm going to go ahead and add the intake manifold real quick. For the intake, you can simply click on this shape or you can click on this one. Either one is fine. It doesn't really matter. Basically, it's just 4 cylinders. 4 cylinders that come forward and they merge into a cube. I know y'all are probably thinking, but dude, that looks like a cylinder. The reason why I say a cube, because when you stretch a cube out along the bottom, along this bottom part right here, let me just move the mouse over it. When you stretch a cube along the bottom part of this, you just simply create edges right here, and then right here. And then right here, you just extrude that back part. And then you'd simply attach a cylinder to that. And this will do 2 things. One, whenever you smooth it, it'll still give you the roundness. And 2, it will also, trying to think, it'll lessen the polygonal faces that you'll be working with in your scene. So that's what I was trying to think of what to say. I was just kind of So anyways, let's go and get back to the tutorial before I just start y'all know what I'm talking about already. You're like, oh crap, he's doing it again. I know. So I'm actually going to create 2 cubes. Or cubes. Yeah, I'm going to create 2 cubes. I'm actually going to create 2 cylinders. So what I want to do is I want to click on this edge. Let me press that. Actually, I'm going to go into this. I'm going to see if I can change this down because we need 6, 12. So 12 is going to be our winner. I'm going to go. If y'all are wondering what I'm doing, I'm going to create the oil cap with this one real quick. Just deselect that. This way I can delete those faces. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to add that. I'm not actually, whenever I added this edge loop, I'm not looking anywhere specific. I just threw that in there because, why not? Now I'm going to grab every other one of these faces. Let's see, right there. Okay, there we go. And so what I want to do now is all these bottom faces. I'm just going to hold down Shift Select, or you can just hold down Shift. Once again, it does not matter. We'll just click on Extrude. We'll just pull these out like so. So now when we press 3 on the keyboard, we'll have this shape. So let's go into the Edge Loop tool. We're going to add an edge loop right about here. This is going to be fairly tight. We'll add one more down here. And so now we have that shape. And so now we'll go into Vertex, and we'll just pull this down like that. So then we have this shape. Let's go into the top view. I'm going to move this right about here. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's okay, it's an easy fix. So I'm just going to put it in position about like that. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. In fact, I don't expect it to be perfect. So I'm just going to move this in position about like that. And I'm going to go and sink it down just a little bit, because this looks like... Okay, so it does sink down just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So Let me click on this real quick. I'm going to click on this edge, pull this edge in about like that, and this one will be pulled in as well. So there we go. Boy, I'm sorry about that, YouTube. Okay, so there we go. That's about what you'd expect to see. So anyways, moving on. Now with this, I'm going to do one thing. And that one thing is I'm going to go into face. I'm going to shift select all the sidewalls, and I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to release after I select all the sidewalls. That's why at the top and bottom select. I'm just going to hit delete. We don't really need those because this is actually going to go into a cube, or I don't know if I'm going to do the cube or not. But these are going to be like, you know, the ends of this are going to be hidden, so I'm not too terribly worried about if I'm going to have that as, you know, I'm going to have those faces there or not, because it's just extra resolution you don't really need. So, with that done, let's go ahead and go into object mode. I'm going to go into the top view. I'm going to move this right here. And let me just make it a 90. Boy, why not? And then I'm going to make it about that size. Now you don't have to duplicate these just yet. You can actually hold off and just watch me start going off on my little rambling spiels. The thing I'm doing right now is I'm basically setting these up, trying to get the right measurements where they're about where they need to be. And I'll show you how I'm doing that, and if I think about it, I'll try to explain what I'm doing, but I'm probably not. Those of you who watch my videos, you're pretty familiar with what I'm talking about already. So anyways, for those of y'all who don't know and you are new to my channel, and if you're still watching, once again, thank you. And I'm actually a chemical technician. I used to be a automotive technician. I was an automotive technician for about 8 years. Let's see, so I need to make that about, let's see, quarter, that'd be whoever cam. So anyways, now I'm actually a chemical technician. I just got out of the automotive field because I was actually getting tired of it. That's really the only reason I even got out of it to begin with. So, yeah, we got that. Okay, so it looks like the size that you're going to want is going to be 0.154. You can do 0.15, that should be fine. In theory, that should be fine. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like as 0.15. So, yeah, you can do 0.15. That'll be fine. So I'll let you go ahead and do that and catch up. In the meanwhile, I'll hum the Jeopardy music. Okay, fuck that. So yeah, anyways, these are going to be the pipes for the intake manifold. Once you get all those done, just, you know, kind of move them into position. As you can see, I didn't do anything. I just kind of like grabbed them and just moved them over. Then you're just going to move these close. Don't actually make them touch inwards like that. You can if you want. I'm recommending not to, so it's completely up to you if you want to or not. You don't. You know, I just started thinking about this. You don't actually have to duplicate them yet because these have too many faces, and they're not even in position. Doesn't matter. So we're just going to start selecting every other edge. Alright, every other edge seems to be selected, so we'll just hit delete. No, not delete. We want to hit the delete vertices. This way it makes it a 10-sided polygonal thingy. Yeah, frame in on that real quick. So I'm going to move this right about here, I'm thinking. That should be good. Now, once we have done that, we can hit Control D. So we're going to move this, looks like, right about there, I'm thinking. As you can see, I'm still not using any measurements. Yeah, I am kind of like looking at the translate up here, but I'm not really paying too much mind to it. So what I want to do now is I actually want to combine these. And this way I can go into Edge, I can select all these, and then Control select the center edges right here. So this way I just have these back half selected. We need to go into Image, so these are actually going to come up some where they're going to be level, probably with this fuel rail right here, and then they just go straight into the actual That's actually like the air duct for the intake, but I don't know if it actually has an individual name for it or not for that specific component. So, let's see, I say these go up or they go down? Yeah, they go up. Okay, so is what we want to do is let's go ahead and, boy, this is going to be tight. I do mean tight. So we're going to pull these up just a little bit. They're going to come back around like so. So now we should have this shape. I'm actually going to move these forward like that, and I'm going to pull them up just a little bit higher, not a whole lot. Looks like I'm probably going to have to actually pull this whole assembly down. So let me go into object mode. I'll select both of these. I'm going to pull them down just a little bit. I'm thinking right about there. So now we can come in here. Let's go ahead and create a cube real quick. We'll go into cube. I'm going to flatten this down probably right about here. I'm going to stretch this out. So as I was saying earlier, one edge loop and two edge loop. And we'll go ahead and scale this down where this is about right there. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I don't know why I just did that. I'm stupid. Alright, so I know it's protruding through the hood right now. I'm not too terribly concerned about that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take these, go into vertex. I'm going to scale these down, move these back. I'm going to select all these vertices. I'm going to shift select this piece. I'm just going to move it all back together. There we go. So let's see if this is still... Nope, sure isn't. Okay, sweet. Control S. And now I'm just going to select this. I'm going to press 3. And so now what I need to do is come in here. I'm going to select this. I'm going to move this one right about here. And this one's going to be moved right about here. So now we should have this nice smooth shape. So as I was saying before, as you can see, a cube. If you want it a little bit more round, like I do, I'm going to simply select both of these center edges. I'm going to bring this object, world, and transform constraint. There we go. There we go. Pull this down just a little bit. And there you go. That's how you make it nice and smooth like you would expect to see it. And so that's still not... Let me hide the visibility on this real quick. I'm actually going to assign a shader to this real fast, so that's why I can see what the hell's going on, because something does not look right with this. Can't quite put my finger on it, or in it, or rub it. A lot of things I can't do with my finger. I'll let y'all take that however you want. So anyways, let's just crank all this up. Yeah, see right here, there's something that just doesn't look right about that, and I don't know what it is. Oh, wait, I know what it is now. So if y'all remember, in the last video, I was showing y'all the difference with the lighting. If I come into lighting, use default lighting. Yeah, see, now that looks smooth. That's actually what I would expect it to look like. That's why it didn't look right. If it didn't look right on your PC or your screen, that's actually why. So, yeah, I'm just going to do this part right here for the tutorial. We're going to be doing a lot more with this. I just want to kind of like get your feet wet on the components. Let me go back into channel box or in the layer editor. So, go ahead and hit save on it. That's going to be the valve cover and the oil cap, which I forgot to move down, so let me just do that real quick. Right about there. So that's all there is to that. It's just going to be a 30-minute tutorial video. Double check always to make sure that this doesn't protrude through. So you just kind of have to go through here, look around, and yeah, it's not that hard. Just something that you can do for reference to make sure everything's good. And I'm going to go ahead and save the scene, but that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment if what you liked about this tutorial, if you like my ramblingness, the fact while I'm doing this while sleep deprived or deprived or however you want to pronounce it. If you have a specific project you'd like to see me do, definitely comment down below what it is. Even if it's something like, I want to see you do a castle, I'll be more than happy to do a castle. I'd be more than happy, because in fact one of the games I'm working on, I got to do a castle for that anyways. So if you didn't like this video, don't subscribe, hit the dislike button, tell me how much you hate my guts and how much you like to throw, what's an odd object you can throw at me? How much you like to throw a laptop at my head, or how much you like to run me over with your car? It's whatever. Comment like what you think would be, just an awesome, epic, painful thing for me to have to go through. Like you'd like to see me get run over by a steamroller, whatever. So anyways, until next time, YouTube, I shall see y'all later. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, night, weekend, whatever it is, whenever you're watching this. Until next time, see you later.